Hi, it's Beth Morant here from the Speech and Language Garden. It's time to have a little look around the SLCN course, the Speech Language Communication Needs course that's on the website and available online for you. So let's put me in the corner, there I go. Now this is my website, thespeechandlanguagegarden.com. Whilst you're here, make sure you have a look at the freebies and some of the ebook resources that are available here on the website for you. But let's click on the online courses tab. So all of the courses are as budget friendly as I can make them for schools, and they're all available online and instant access as well. So there's no particular date you've got to wait for. You haven't got to find cover for your classes or cover for your staff. You can just log in and go. There's a few different courses available at the moment. At the time I've recorded this, but I've got a few more coming out soon. There's a Speech Sound Steps to Success, the SLCN comprehensive course that we're going to have a look at in a second. There's also supporting children with auditory memory difficulties and vocabulary and word finding difficulties, and those have got more demonstrations and activity ideas of interventions that you can do with students. But let's have a look at this one, the Speech Language Communication Needs Mega Course. It's about an hour and a half long total video time. You can split that into two 45-minute training sessions, easy peasy. So it takes you over to the platform that I'm hosting the courses on, and it gives you lots of information about SLCN. Some really interesting kind of red flags that I like to mention to teachers and to schools to have a little look at. Have you got kids in your class with poor attention skills? Do they have frustration and challenging behaviour? Are they just struggling to follow instructions and just don't know what's going on around them? You know, your lower ones that are struggling academically, is there something that you can be doing to help them? Well, here you go, here's this course for you. Like I said, you can do it online, you can access it anytime, and also because you've already logged in, you'll be able to log in again and re-access the stuff in about 3 months' time or next year's time, or even in the beginning of next academic year when you want to train up new staff or refresh your skills. Okay, there's lots of benefits for you to have a little read through after completing the course. And some information about what we're going to do in the course, and then all this massive load of bonus materials I've put in for you. So there are 9 downloadable PDFs that you can just print off and put up in the staff room or put up in your own classroom. There's also the SLCN checklist, which is absolutely recommended to do with some of those children with the red flags that we've just looked at a second ago. And it helps you to indicate what areas of difficulty they have got, and actually even to isolate some individual targets that you can be working on with them without having to refer just yet to a speech and language therapist. It all helps you to build up that evidence that you need for these children. There's also the SLCN ebook that you can share with your team and upload onto your shared drive as well. Right, click any of these buttons and it takes you through. Or does it? Oh, no, I need to sign in because I've already signed in. Okay, sign in. Okay, so it's signed in and it shows me all of the courses that I've enrolled in, even though I've made them all, but it's this one that I want to show you. Okay, so here it is. So we've got all the modules here. There are 4 modules. So with the first one, with the introduction and theory, the slides that I've been talking over, oh, there I am talking now. Children you might be working with in calls me. So we have a little look at what you'll learn in each of these modules. So the first one is introduction and theory. What is SLCN? Let's see what else I want to tell you about this. So what the definition of SLCN, speech language communication needs, is. We'll look at some prevalence and patterns, and is it more boys than girls, or is it children from certain backgrounds? We'll have a little look into all of the information there. We have a look at some profiles and some cases, and then those barriers to learning that are some buzzwords for us in education. It's really important as well, I think, to have a look at the wider impacts of speech language communication needs and how children can be affected, even actually into adulthood, if their difficulties aren't supported and hopefully resolved when they're younger. And then let's also a little look at what I do, or what our speech and language therapists do, and how we can work alongside education professionals to support the children. Okay, Module 2 looks at the different areas of speech and language communication needs. Areas of SLCN. There we go. That's me again. Okay. Talking over some slides to you. It's quite slide heavy, this training course, as compared to some of the other training courses where I do some more demonstration, but this one is packed full of knowledge and information, and more than anything, some strategies for you to be using to to use every day in a classroom instead of just using for individual interventions with children. So it really helps to enhance that quality first teaching that we're looking for. So module 2, we're looking at the impacts and barriers to learning and the areas of need within SLCN. For me, it's really clear that there are 7 different areas. So we look really closely into the 7 different areas, which include comprehension, memory, expressive language, speech sounds, dysfluency. And we look really closer at what those areas are and what the difficulties mean for the children in our settings. I've tried to include a whole range of age ranges actually for schools, knowing that these courses are accessed by people who work in primary schools and secondary schools and even some sixth form colleges too. So I've tried to include strategies that you can use for any of these different age ranges. In module 3, here are some strategies. In fact, I think there's over like 70 strategies that I've included for everybody. In your supporting future. Shut her up again. So that you can use to support with the children that you work with. Because there's so many, we were looking at step 4 about how you can choose just a few strategies to start with for this term.
So here we are.
I think it's something I can tell you what my strategies are. Yes, there we go. So we have a look at what strategies that you are going to choose, what your top 5 strategies out of those 70 odd that I give you that you can focus on for the rest of the term. So it helps you to remember just a few of them just to get you started. And then there's also some bonus materials that I've included here. All of the 70 odd strategies that I keep talking about are included in in this course as individual principal pages for you. So there's strategies to support attention listening difficulties, for comprehension, for children who've got memory difficulties and auditory memory difficulties, strategies to support expressive language, speech sounds, play and social skills, students who stammer. And then this one here is actually my SLCN Charities PDF. This is my go-to sheet when I need to either direct a school to a particular charity for a particular condition that a child may have, or whether I'm looking to contact somebody for a little bit more advice and information on a particular condition. So this is actually almost like my Rolodex of charities that I have. And for anyone who's really keen and really interested, even if you're doing some of your own further studies, I've included quite a few resources here for you as well, so that you can look at in your own time. With regards to the extra bonus goodies, here's the SLCN checklist that I mentioned for you. It's really easy peasy. Pop in the child's name and then the date that you do this checklist, and you just tick, are they always having difficulty with these particular areas, often or rarely, and then at the bottom, after you've gone through all 7 different areas, at the bottom it helps us have a look at what you need to do next. If there's lots of ticks in the always column, you're going to have to refer these children to speech and language therapy. But you can send this checklist with the referral, and it will really help the speech therapist to isolate the particular sub-test that will be good to help work out what's particularly going on with this child, or what's going on with this child in a deeper level. There's about 40 different assessments that we can use, so it really helps us to identify which one will help for those children. If the majority of difficulties are in the often column for the student that you've done this checklist on, then there are some interventions that you can do in school, either TA-based, one-to-one or small group interventions, or using some of the strategies in this course to help with your quality teaching. There's also a bunch of resources on that website that I showed you at the beginning, the speechandlanguagegarden.com. And then you can also use this checklist again next term to see if any of these difficulties have improved. So it's kind of a monitoring tool, an informal monitoring tool for you. Some of the other issues, does the child have a pre-existing condition? And you might need to include that in terms of the evidence that you're gathering for the child. One thing to note though, if you've got a child who has got stammering or fluency difficulties, it's always best to refer them to speech and language therapy just to double check that everything's okay with them. So that's everything in this huge course for you. And don't forget that you can show my courses to your whole team. So you just need 1 log on per school and then just share away. As long as people are using these resources and strategies to help the children in their setting, and that makes me feel good as speech and language therapist that I'm able to help you to help the children that you work with. Please do contact me via my website or via any of the social media pages that you find me on, or you can also send me an email, speechandlanguagegarden@gmail.com, and do get in touch if you have any questions. Okay, bye for now.